I swear to God, I will kill you.
I'm gonna put an end to this.
God hurt me. All these years, God hurt me.
All right, have and have not fans, a quick update on my technical issues here. It turns out my laptop needs a new battery. Apparently it's supposed to be changed every 2 years, and I'm about 4 months late on that. But in any case, my laptop is currently working. However, I can only use it when it's charged up. So to prevent overheating of the charger or anything like that, I'm only using my laptop for a couple hours a day. That's why I haven't been putting out videos like I usually do, but I still have a list of a lot of videos in front of me. But thankfully, I did order a battery from Amazon last night. I went to 8 different stores yesterday just to see if I can find one, quick, fast, and in a hurry in person. But unfortunately, nobody sold the batteries. The one store that did had it for $120, and I'm like, nah, Amazon has it for $20. So I expedited the shipping for like $5 extra. So Friday, I should get the battery. So you can expect, my huge amount of videos later this weekend. But just to give you an update, that's why I haven't been pumping out videos like I usually do. Also, HAHN has yet to release the trailer for next week's episode morning, so that's why I haven't done my trailer breakdown yet. A-Series did send me the trailer. It was recorded from his TV, but I did see the trailer. I do have thoughts, but until the official one comes out, I won't be doing the trailer breakdown unless it's like Sunday, the trailer isn't out, then I'll just make do with what I got, because I really don't want to keep people hanging. But there's nothing I can do in that case. HAHN is the one that's slipping up. Secondly, well, technically third, in this video, I will be announcing the winners of the Walmart gift cards. I apologize, but the computer issues hit me sometime earlier on Tuesday. That's why I haven't been able to get my videos out. So in this video, I will be announcing the winners. It's going to be at the end. But keep in mind, I did throw in one more card because there were a lot of great comments. So there's going to be one $25 winner, and then 3, not 2, but 3 $10 gift card winners. So that's going to be at the end. So this video is kind of a theory now, because it goes back to A-Series sending me the trailer, and I watched it a few times to pick up on some of the scenes. And believe it or not, I think I was wrong. And this is just speculation on my part. I could be completely off the rocker here, but let's hear me out on this one. Remember the big debate back around January the 8th when we got the trailer at the end of the first episode where it said, here's a look at the haves and the have-nots this season, showing us various scenes from upcoming episodes between January and the mid-season finale. And towards the end of the trailer, we have a crying Hanna saying one of two things: God hurt me, he really hurt me, or God heard me, he really heard me. I swore up and down, and I, for the most part, I'm still on the gravy train saying that God hurt me. Then you had people on the other side of the fence saying that God heard me. It was pretty much what was it in 2018, 2017, the Lonnie and Laurel thing? It was kind of like that. I was on the hurt side, but using clues from things that occurred in the episode enough, as well as things seen in the trailer for next week, I might be willing to accept that Hanna said God heard me. Possibly. That's kind of where I'm at now. And you're probably wondering, Jeremy, why are you teetering on the fence? Why are you switching sides? Hear me out. This is a theory. The reason I'm doing this video is because we know in the next episode that we could just break it down here from things we've seen. Wyatt's going to be in the room with the grand jury. I believe Sarah's going to be there as well as George, and he's going to be testifying. And kind of fast forwarding there, you have a woman sitting right across from Wyatt, and she's looking down at the phone with Jim Cryer's name on it. And I know it's like the green button, like the phone. So I think that means she is either getting a call or accepting a call. I can't tell which one, but either way, Jim Cryer pops up on the phone. So Wyatt is walking out of the jail pretty much in the closing, minus the blazer, meaning that, because he testified, George kept good on his promise to allow him to leave the jail. Remember, George was I think it was when George was at Sarah's apartment, like, there's nothing we can do with Wyatt. I mean, he's going to be killed by the Malones. I mean, so I can't really keep him in jail. There's nothing I could arrest him for. And then the drugs came up. So he's pretty much released. Then we see Wyatt just thrown into the back of a van. Honestly, I don't know who it is. I mean, it could very well be the Malones who have Wyatt. But also you have to think about Jim is pretty much at a point where, you know what, bump this, I think he's on the phone with the woman because there was the point in the trailer where it's like, if we're all going, all right, you know what, let the dogs out. If we all go down, we're taking everyone with us. So maybe Wyatt is taken away by Jim, but it really doesn't make sense why Jim would have Wyatt abducted, because if Wyatt had already testified, it doesn't matter. Because remember, that's the reason that Jim wanted to keep Wyatt away from George and Sarah in jail in general, not just because he might be killed off by the Malones, but because he would run his mouth and testify. So that could explain why in the next episode we have, Veronica showing up at Catherine's house and David and Jim all together, if I'm not mistaken. And once again, because the trailer hasn't been officially released, I don't have the photos in this this video. So we do know that Wyatt is thrown into the back of a van and somebody is sitting there, with their hands together like they were expecting Wyatt to be thrown in there. It could be Jim, but I remember when I first saw the trailer, like the hands look like those of an African American as opposed to a Caucasian. So I could be wrong because every time I look at the picture, it really depends on like the lighting. But we do know that Wyatt isn't killed. He's taken somewhere and he's like in some kind of attic area and he's looking through a chest. And then we see him pull out like a black gun that looks similar to the gun that Amanda had, the one she got from the pawn shop, and also similar to the gun that Catherine used to kill Jennifer Salison. But we do know in the actual trailer back from January the 8th, Wyatt has like a rifle that he's cocking ready to, shoot someone. Now, one can make, if it is the Malones, and again, this is just pure speculation. If it is the Malones, I think it actually makes sense for him not to be killed off because Vinnie Malone made it clear that he wants personal revenge against Wyatt. So one can make the art. Well, then again, I do believe he did tell Mitch that he wanted the kid brought to him. So would Wyatt be brought to the bar, the Iron Bone bar, or is he just taken to some random safe house or, abandoned area? And then he's not killed by the Malones, but he's just there to be prey. He's just there until Vinny shows up to enact his revenge. But let's flip the script. Let's just say, because a lot of people have been telling me, Jeremy, I think it's actually Catherine's house. Okay, let's just say it is Catherine's house. Like, it's Jim waiting for Wyatt inside of the van, and he gets thrown into the back, and then those big dudes, like, they'll be the new guys, not Leo and Mac, but these will be the guys who will be watching Wyatt at the house and make sure he stays there, because I think he taunted Jim the last time, several episodes ago, when Leo and Mac were just following him around the house. It's like, yeah, next time make sure you get bigger guys. And Jim's like, yes, son, okay, because he was just reading a book. I think if Wyatt is abducted from the jail when he's walking outside, because again, where is he going to go? He has no money. He's just taken away. Let's say he's brought back to Catherine's house, and then for whatever reason he is, stuck or locked upstairs in the attic or, anything like that. He looks through the chest and then he finds the gun. And then he comes down ready to kill people because remember, he keeps saying, I want to kill you and mom. So to actually be locked up once again by his parents, he'll probably, go through with his threats. Now, let's say, and this goes to the heart of the actual video and the reason I'm doing this. Let's say Jim gets shot. I don't know if he's getting killed because I do believe John Snyder is in season 7. It is hard to tell because at the time of the filming of season 7 around last September, remember John Snyder was in the beginning stages of Dancing with the Stars, so there was not a lot of behind the scene footage of John Snyder, but there was plenty of John Snyder content from his time on Dancing with the Stars, as well as his various trips, radio tours and appearances like Comic-Cons and whatnot, comic conventions. Remember, he was on Smallville, as well as different appearances for the Dukes of Hazzard and things like that. But we didn't see much behind the scene content from John Snyder. Like, we saw a bunch of things from like Renee and Crystal and Angela, as well as a lot of secondary characters, who were in like the dressing rooms and the makeup and hair chairs, getting ready to, shoot scenes. I think there was only like one or two Instagram videos that I remember seeing where we had a lot of the cast members together at dinner, and John Snyder was at one. So we can assume, and I do believe his picture was up on the wall of all the cast members of the season. I do believe John Snyder was there. So I don't know if John Snyder's going to die. Or excuse me, not John Snyder. I don't know if Jim Cryer is going to die, but for the sake of this theory, let's say that Wyatt actually does take that gun, make good on his promise, and shoots his father. All right, and let's say for whatever reason, the shooting happens and the news breaks. This is Judge Jim Cryer. He isn't on the bench anymore at the moment because remember, him and David, quote unquote, retired in order to run for governor and lieutenant governor respectively. And that's the one thing people need to remember. Like, why don't these people have jobs? Remember, they were judges for many years. Allegedly, Jim had a lot of successful businesses and other ventures that we never really saw, but it was mentioned several times during his campaign. So regardless of how you feel about the money situation, that's why he hasn't been working. I think that we do see in the trailer that Derek does appear next week. Hanna is wearing that white shirt and she has her hair done in the same way when she's screaming out, "God heard me." And again, for the sake of this video, I'm saying heard me. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, so Benny's there while Derek is there. So we can assume that Benny will be alive towards the end of the season because we do know the next episode's morning. I'm looking at my calendar here to make sure I don't mess it up. Morning, 15 minutes and out of time. So we can somewhat maybe assume that over the course of the next 3 episodes, it's going to be the same day. Like it's not going to be like, 3 days are going to pass before the mid-season finale. For the sake of simplicity, I might just state that, okay, maybe we're only going to be seeing things over the course of, the next morning or the next day. So, well, to be honest, let's see. We have Hanna, wearing that. Yeah, you know what? I think it is the same day. Hanna just changed clothes because if you remember, it was the next morning because Mitch came over to talk with Benny to let him know about, Jim Cryer. And then Hanna was in her night clothes and then she got changed in a rush in order to go to the house. And after, roughing up Jim and everything, it makes sense that she would change clothes. So, yeah, it's the same day. But in any case, we could pretty much assume that Candace is probably going to be okay. I don't think anything's going to happen to Candace. So I think that both of her kids will be okay. What would be the thing that makes Hanna snap like that? We do know in the episode synopsis for Out of Time, which is going to be the mid-season finale before the show goes on break, when If Loving You Is Wrong takes the reigns in March 19th or on March 19th and 20th. We do know the synopsis is about a tattoo says 1,000 words. You could say, you know what? Derek's tattoo is exposed and then Hanna finds out and all this and that. But given the fact that Hanna is like making that crying and making that, loud comment about God heard me, I think that some news comes up and it's not the fact that, and excuse me if my thoughts seem a bit out of there, but I'm trying to put this together the best way I can. I think that it's not a situation where Hanna and Derek are about to have sex or anything. I think that Derek looks like he came into the living room in like a rush because of some news that just broke. I could be wrong, but based off the trailer, it did look like he was rushing to come into the house to check on everybody to see if everything was all right. So he probably heard about the fight that broke out in regards to, Jim versus Candace and Hanna. I don't know if it's because Derek made a stop by the Cryer house, because remember, he is like a handyman and contractor and everything. So maybe he went over there to fix something, or he heard it through the grapevine because Diane is like I don't know if she's like the new Hanna, if you will, in terms of she's kind of fulfilling the role that Hanna was doing, because we did see like a white maid there as well, a younger white female. So Diane might be like, one of the chiefs of staff now. I'm just, trying to, put things together. We do know that her and Hanna worked together, given the fact that she greeted Hanna nicely and was like, hey, could you show me how to get this stain out of the rug and everything? So she's one of those characters we've never seen before, because obviously Hanna isn't the only maid in a house that huge. But in any case, I would, and this is just speculation. What if Derek rushes over, Benny disrespectful as always. He makes sure everything is okay, and then somehow, some way, the news is broken out that Jim Cryer was shot. This goes back to Diane or Diana. I think it was Diane, but this goes back to God hurt me. God hurt me. Do you think it's possible that Hanna will feel guilty because she threatened Jim Cryer to his face? Like, if anything happens to my children, if you threaten them or hurt them again, I will kill you. I will kill you, Jim Cryer. And then she even tells Catherine about it. It's like, Catherine, if anything happens to my kids, I gotta go. So I don't know what the situation will be. I don't know if Catherine's going to be at the house. I don't know if it's just going to be Wyatt and Jim. But the shooting most likely will happen. I mean, they talk about the finale being explosive or a bombshell of a finale. So for all we know, Wyatt might get the gun ready and shoot the guys who are guarding him and then go after his father and then leave the house. He just shoot them and then split the scene. And then let's say Diane shows up for work or she went on lunch break or whatever the case may be, and then finds all these shot people around and then assumes that it was Hanna because of the threats made. So I guess I don't even know what the title of this video, because I want to make sure it doesn't get demonetized or it's too lengthy. But the theory is Wyatt gets taken away the minute he is released from jail, taken back to Catherine's house, looks through these things in the attic, finds a gun, and then shoots the people who are guarding him, and then makes good on his promise to kill his father. And I don't think John Snyder is his character will be killed off, but he might be out of commission for a while. This is just a theory. But I think at the very core of it, I think Hanna might be like a prime suspect because of the threat she made. So that's the reason I'm doing this video. Do you think that Wyatt will shoot his father? Maybe kill him, maybe not. But in any case, at the end of the day, the blame is going to be put on Hanna because she was threatening Jim to his face with Diane there. It's almost like the situation where at the end of season 1, the cliffhanger was Wyatt gets back home after the hit and run and everything, and it's like, I think I killed him. And then Jim screams at Hanna to leave the kitchen, go home, because that's what Hanna heard. And then she took that information and assumed, but only after she felt that she knew for sure that Wyatt was the one that hit her son, went to the police. That's why Byron was there, thanks to Jim, to let him know what was going on, because when Hanna made her move, he would make his move. And what was the guy's name? Donald something. He was the guy that Jim, put up to the hit and run where, Wyatt hit this guy. But instead of, pressing charges, I just covered his medical bills. Here's the car with the DNA to prove it and everything. But I think that it might be the flip side where Diane is the one that tries to turn Hanna in. But, then some things have to be considered, like the gun, fingerprints, bullets, all that stuff. And how the police work in this town. Who knows? So maybe at the end of the day, Hanna actually said, God heard me, because she'll feel guilty about, talking out of rage and everything, even though it was to protect her kids. It just goes to show you need to be careful what you say, be careful what you threaten, because sometimes the things actually happen. But you can make the argument, well, Jeremy, why would Hanna feel bad that Jim got shot? I mean, yeah, she was the one that was saying, I'll kill you. But if it wasn't her that really attempted to kill Jim, why would she feel bad? Because that's kind of Jim karma coming back on him. That's a very good point. But, for the sake of this theory, I think this actually does make some sense. Who knows? But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And, this is going to be an interesting theory, no doubt. I really do feel like the comment section should be blowing up. And please refrain from I told you it was heard me, because we honestly don't know until the actual episode comes out. So now let's move on to the winners of the contest. All right, now first off, thank you all so much for contributing to this contest by leaving comments in regards to trying to persuade me that Hanna and Benny should return the money to the Cryers. And yes, keep in mind this contest was created before the episode Enough, where Catherine made it pretty plain that 1, Jim, this is not your money. 2, I don't give a damn at this point if the money even comes back, so forget about it. But to be honest, I think the money should go back regardless, so whatever. But nobody was able to persuade me. but that did not stop me from finding some very good comments on that video. There were at least over 70 if memory serves. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put the comments on screen one by one. I'm going to announce the 3 winners for the $10 cards. And remember, I originally said a $25 card, 2 $10 cards, because there were some great comments. But when I was looking through the comments to pick the winners, there was one that I could not ignore, so I had to throw it in there. And yeah, so there's going to be 4 winners. Now, in no particular order, except for the first 3. The next 3 people I announce here, $10. Obeyed Katrina, because part of the comment really stood out to me, and it said that Hanna gave back pretty much everything that Catherine had given her. You know, Amanda's car, she quit her job for like the 20th time, and pretty much, you know, was said she was going to leave that house, that condom, I'm sorry, not condom, the condo by the end of the month. And at that point, the $8 million or any money wouldn't be like a handout. It would just be like Hanna just pretty much threw away, if you want to call the blessings Catherine had given her, and the $8 million would be that blessing, even though, you know, it could be argued that it was ill will. But then if you combine that with what Catherine said in regards to that $8 million means nothing, she can keep for all I care. Yeah, that actually was pretty good. Well thought out. So Obey Katrina wins $10. Next up, Kim Bella. And she had a great comment, but the real part that stuck out to me is at this point, the $8 million is its own character. And that is absolutely true. It's almost like, you know, how people say that Gotham City is pretty much its own character within the world of Batman. So very, very good. Next, the last winner for a $10 gift card. And I'm not going to lie. And I hope the person who won this $10 gift card does not get mad at me, but you were originally going to win the $25 card, but there was one comment that hit me because no one else really said anything like this. But J. Lore, you had an excellent comment, and the part that got me was the fact that you elaborated on, instead of all like the whole stabbing thing and the threats and then the back and forth, Jim could have easily gotten a lawyer and fought this in order to get the money back. Absolutely facts. The only bad part about that is, the only part that would have been bad in that situation would have been if Candace somehow managed to convince Benny and Hanna to give the money to her and split town. But in any case, you know, the feds probably would have found her. But yeah. So I do think that in terms of settling things with a cool head, a lawyer would have been great. Because, I mean, yeah, you could say that, man, there's no way Hanna could afford a lawyer, you know, because remember, this is them not touching the money in the bank. Catherine might try to help out, but at the same time, it's as easy as Benny signing the documents. But yes, your comment was very well thought out. Now, they say simplicity works best, and I have to admit, the $25 gift card is going to Beth B, because of her short but sweet comment that just opened up an entirely new world for me in terms of thinking about this money. $25 winner. Beth talked about how Catherine turned in Wyatt in order to free Benny. That says $8 million more than all the money and gifts that she had given Hanna and Benny up to that point. And my hands went up in the air. I'm like, you know what? Hands down the best comment here, because it just speaks volumes to how far Catherine has come as a character. And yes, I've talked a lot about the flaky personality of Catherine, where you really don't know what Catherine Cryer you're going to get each Tuesday. You literally do not know. Is it going to be the threesome Catherine? Is it going to be the tough as nails, I'm going to shoot your ass Catherine? Will it be the Catherine I'll drag you out of her house by, you know, your hair? Will it be the Catherine who's the loving friend, matchmaker for, you know, Hanna and Derek? I don't know. We just don't know. But I think that it really is great that she mentioned this, because, you know, Catherine did, after she found out that Wyatt was the one that left Vinny on the bar to die, in the bar to die, and Hannah's son was being arrested for it, she wasted no time. You know, it took her a little bit to put it together. But as soon as she found out, no, 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 my son's going down for this. And it wasn't like in season 2 where she pretty much was, yeah, she helped Benny out even though Hanna didn't want it and saved his life and paid his hospital bills and all this stuff. But she would never admit that Wyatt was the one that hit her son because she didn't want her son to go to jail, but she did the right thing. And yes, I talked about how it is hypocritical how you will have your son arrested for not murdering someone, because remember, Vinny did survive, but he most likely would have died if Mitch didn't check for a pulse. Yet she killed Jennifer Salison. I still don't like that aspect, but yeah, this comment really brought it home. So Beth B, 25, $10 goes to J Lore, Kim Bella, and Obey Katrina. What you can do, if you could please all private message me on Instagram. You all know what my Instagram is, the HAHN, and just make sure you're like, hey, this is your YouTube username, and then send me your mailing address. What's today? Thursday. I'm going to have this video up within a couple of hours, if not sooner. So if everybody sends their addresses, then I'll be able to mail stuff by the end of the week. I'm really not going to the post office unless all 4 of you send me the addresses so I can mail them off to you at the same time. But congratulations to everyone who won. This is $55 that I'm giving out, within 4 people. So just so you know, if you donate to the channel, whether it be through the super chat when I do live streams, and at the moment, copyright strike from Tyler Perry Studios on a live stream where I did absolutely nothing. So I can't live stream for quite some time until the copyright strike is taken away. I've already left a voicemail. I filed a dispute. So as soon as YouTube does its thing, I can do live streams again. But this is great. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about my theory in regards to Jim, Wyatt, and Hanna. To the contest winners, thanks again. Thanks to everyone who commented. It really does mean a lot to me because it really shows the channel is being more active. But if you have not done so already, if you are new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button. We're trying to hit 100,000 subscribers. And hey, the more people we get, the more money that comes in and the more giveaways I can do in the near future. So thanks so much for tuning in. And like I said before, my laptop battery should be arriving in the mail sometime Friday. So once it does, I can get to work and crank out more theory videos. So this might be the first and last new video on the channel until after the battery shows up, just to give you fair warning. And if anybody finds out that OWN or the Haves and the Have-Nots official page put out the new trailer for next Tuesday, be sure to hit me up on Twitter or Instagram, and I'll be sure to look at the trailer and do the breakdown video first as soon as that battery comes in. Thanks so much for making it to the end of this video. Be sure to click the thumbs up button if you like what you just saw. And if you have anything you would like to add to the video itself, go down to the comment section below and type out your thoughts. And I also have social media related to the Haves and Have-Nots: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook page, Facebook group. Links to everything will be in the description below. And if you like action figures, video games, and trading cards, I have an eBay store as well where there's free shipping on everything. But I also have a second YouTube channel that I'm working on where I talk about things that are non-Tyler Perry related, such as anime, superhero shows and movies, music, pop culture, and sometimes political news depending on what the circumstances are. Be sure to check out that channel as well. In the top left hand corner, you should see a picture of Candace Young. You can click on her to subscribe to the Haves and the Have-Nots review. We're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. And if you like the video you just saw, be sure to check out the other 2 videos that should be popping up on the right hand side. Trust me, if you like this video, you'll love them too. Once again, thanks so much for visiting my YouTube channel, and I'll talk to you in the next video.